Today we're going to be taking a closer look at the rear bumper without backup sensor holes in black for the 2016 to 2023 Tacoma. If you're looking to refresh your truck's rear styling, streamline your look, your truck didn't come with factory backup sensors, or you just want to remove the sensors altogether for a cleaner look, this bumper offers a clean OEM style upgrade that deletes unnecessary sensor holes. This bumper is built to mirror a factory fit profile while omitting those backup sensor cutouts, perfect for machines that either didn't have those sensors from the factory or owners that prefer a cleaner appearance. And it's pretty nice if you got that chrome bumper from the factory. This gives you that clean, blacked out look. It offers robust protection against impacts, helping shield the rear of your truck from daily driving or even trail use. This is crafted from strong stamped steel with an OE style design. This edition pares down the original styling for a more minimalistic, stealthy look. It enhances both the durability and the defensibility over the reinforced stock plastics. Eliminating those sensor holes is going to avoid the need to plug them in, and it's also going to mask any open cavities that you might have, and it's going to reduce the potential moisture intrusion, maintaining a cleaner rear surface of your truck while giving you better longevity while it's not going to retain that moisture. Constructed from heavy-duty gauge steel that's finished in a nice black powder coat finish, and the top coating has a nice durable plastic for extra protection, this bumper is built to resist chips, cracking, and the elements while preserving a factory-like appearance. The hardware and the mounting points are going to perfectly fit OEM specifications for a straight bolt-on swap, and if you stick with me, we'll show you that install here in a minute. Now, as far as the pricing goes on this, it's coming in right around that low 300s price range. That puts it in line with other steel OE replacements, offering a great balance between durability, style, and value. When it comes to the installation process on this, it's going to be rated a 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter, and it takes about 1 hour to get this job done. It uses your Tacoma's factory mounting points with no drilling or modifications required to simplify the install process. Now let's head on out to the shop, and they're going to give you a detailed walkthrough of exactly how this install goes.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, a clip remover tool, Phillips head screwdriver, and 12 and 17 millimeter swivel sockets. What's up guys? Today we're installing a rear bumper on our Tacoma. First we're gonna watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory rear bumper, and then I'll meet you back here for the install.
So the first step of our install is to take off our license plate. Now for this, I'm gonna use a Phillips head socket. However, this is gonna depend on what hardware that you have holding on your license plate. You may need a 10 millimeter socket. Now that our license plate is removed, that's going to expose one of the clips that we'll have to remove in order to remove our bumper here. Next, we can head underneath and disconnect the wiring harness for our hitch plug as well as our license plate lights. So our next step is to disconnect our hitch plug. This is just going to have a tab up on top. We're just going to press down on that tab and pull back. That's going to release our wiring harness. And then what we can do is just pop that out completely because we're going to have to swap that over. So I usually take a flathead screwdriver and just depress these clips that are just holding it onto the bumper here. So once both of those clips are through, we'll be able to wiggle this out and forward. So after we've removed our hitch plug here, there's a wiring harness right next to it up at the top that's connected to the body, and that's also connected to the bumper. What I'm gonna do is disconnect this, and then we can move on to our license plate lights. Just have to depress that tab and pull back. So our next step is to remove our license plate lights and disconnect the wiring harness for this. Now what I like to do is just pop it through the bumper. That makes it a little bit easier because this is kind of a tight space to work with, especially to unplug a wiring harness. Now what I'm gonna do is take a flathead screwdriver and just depress the clips on either side of the light. That's really what's holding it into the back bumper, and we're gonna have to swap these over in just a second to our new bumper anyway. So if you just push forward and depress those clips just like we did with the hitch plug. we'll be able to remove this light. What we can do next is remove the couple of clips that are holding on this trim piece. Now, I already kind of pried up on this trim piece here, so it is going to be pretty easy to remove. Now, if this is the first time that you're removing this trim piece, it is going to be pretty difficult to remove, but it's only held in by a couple of clips on the bottom and then a couple of clips on the front behind the license plate and 2 on either side down at the corner of the trim piece. So I'm gonna take a soft pry tool and remove this clip up top, and then we can head down to the corner. I'm going to use that same soft pry tool, take out this clip, we can remove the one on the other corner, and then we can pull off our trim piece. So like I said, I already pulled up on this and removed most of these clips. Now this trim piece is going to be a little bit difficult at first to take off just because of the multiple clips, but this is going to expose most of the bolts that we need to remove in order to remove our bumper as a whole. So we can put this to the side and grab our tools for our next step. Next, we can remove the 2 bolts underneath that are holding on the bottom portion of our bumper. I'm going to use a 12mm socket and my electric ratchet to remove those. Then we can do the same thing on the other side. Now directly above the frame rail from the ones that we just removed, there's going to be 2 more 12mm bolts. I'm going to use the same 12mm socket to remove them. Then we can repeat that for the other side. Last but not least, we can remove the 2 bolts that are in the middle, holding our bumper onto the hitch assembly here. I'm using that same 12mm socket. At this point, what we can do is just remove our rear bumper by pulling back.
Now with our bumper removed, we're going to remove our bumper support bar. So we've got 4 bolts here, and then we've got a bolt that's slotted back here. I'm just going to loosen this one up. That's going to give us a good spot to slide our new bumper onto while we get our other bolts installed. So I'm going to take a 17mm swivel socket. I'm going to loosen up this one. And then I'm going to fully remove these 4. And now do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll slide this out. So now we've got a couple pins at the front, so we're going to need to lift this up and then slide it out. Now I'm going to swap over our trailer plug from our stock bumper to our new bumper. We've got these 2 clips, so you just need to press in on one side and then press in on the other side. And then over here, we just need to line it up and clip it into place. So now I've got a buddy, he's going to help me lift up this bumper. I need to clip in my 3 clips for my wire harness back here, plug in my trailer connector, and then I'm going to take the connectors from my license plate lights and just run them through the holes for now. So I've got my 3 clips here. Just one at a time, clip those into place. I'll lift it up a little more and plug in my trailer connector. Now I'm going to plug in my trailer connector, and then we can raise this up into place. Now we also have these brackets. I'm removing these while we put it on to make it a little bit easier. So just line it up and then just work it in. I'm gonna pass my license plate light connector through while I'm here. And then we can hop underneath, install those outer plates, and reinstall our bolts. So now we're gonna come down to the frame. We've got that one bolt that we just loosened up in place. Now we need to install 2 of our factory bolts into our 2 holes. And then take that 17mm socket and tighten your bolts down. Do the same thing on the other side. Now we're gonna grab our license plate lights. We have new ones included in the kit. Plug in your connector, and then just line that up. Press it into place, and do the same thing on the other side. Next, you can take your license plate. Now we have 2 self-tapping screws included in the kit that we're gonna be running into these holes. So throw your license plate into place. Get your screws in place. And then grab a Phillips head screwdriver, thread those in. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the rear bumper without backup sensor holes in black for your 2016 to 23 Tacoma. Thank you for watching, and for all things Tacoma, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.